Alright, so it is official. We are officially getting the highly anticipated rematch between Lamont Roach and Tank Davis, and it's supposed to take place on August 16th. And I also believe that we could potentially get Stephen Fulton and or Shaki Foster on the co-main of that fight as well. I'm going to get into that down in the video, but for right now, let's break down the rematch between Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. And in my opinion, I think I speak for everybody when I say I think the second fight will be a lot better than the first fight. The first fight was fire. It would have been, it could potentially be fight of the year. There's a lot of candidates for fight of the year. We had the fight with Inoue with Cardenas, and that could potentially be, like we have a lot of candidates for fight of the year. And if the knockdown would have counted, that would have been 100% upset of the year. 1000%. Now, I'm very intrigued about the rematch of this fight for a few reasons, actually. The number one reason being because so much happened in the first fight, right? One thing that was alarming to me was the fact that Lamont Roach hurt Tank. And not just once. He buckled Tank a few times in that fight. So he buckled Tank. I didn't really see Lamont get hurt. Like I didn't see Lamont get hurt the way how Lamont hurt Tank. I didn't see that. So I'm interested to know how would Tank approach the fight in the second time, being that he know that, because that's something that Tank always feared. He always feared somebody that could hurt him. He was always uncomfortable against fighters who can hurt him. He was uncomfortable against Rolly. He was uncomfortable against Barrios, and he looked uncomfortable against Lamont Roach. There was times in that fight where he looked uncomfortable. So all of that, I'm very intrigued on how would Tank approach this fight this time around, knowing that he's been staggered a few times in this fight. I want to know how would Tank approach this fight, and also I want to know how Lamont Roach would approach the fight, because could Lamont Roach get overconfident, which I don't think so, because he knows Tank. Tank and Lamont Roach has known each other since they was like teens, which I just found out that Lamont Roach's father, he used to train Tank in the amateurs, so they know Tank and Roach very well. Like I ain't gonna say they cool, but they know each other very well. The man Tank knows, you know what I'm saying? Like they know the family, you feel me? So it's kind of like Floyd waiting for Zab Judah. It's like that. This is an interesting fight, yo. It's interesting because there's so much on. It's so much on the line. There's so much on the line, right? We just heard Turkey Al-Sheikh talking about that he has plans to make Tank versus Shakur if he beats Roach. My question is, what's in it for Lamont Roach? You know what I'm saying? Like, and not to get off subject, but I dislike that, right? Because what Turkey just said, right? I got something planned for Tank and Shakur. If Tank, like, I feel like you're kind of overlooking Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach put on a great performance. He, be real, he beat Tank. Be real, he beat Tank, bro. He beat Tank. If the knockdown counted, he beats Tank. He beats Tank. Which Tank felt a kind of way about Roach to begin with, because they had a rematch clause if Roach either won or the fight ended in a draw. So he set that in place. That was in the contract. So obviously Tank was a bit iffy on a fight to begin with. Otherwise, that wouldn't have even been put in play. If you was that confident on beating Roach, there was no need to have a rematch, anything. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, if he was that confident. But anyway, I just don't like that, right? Like, you're planning ahead. And we just seen that with the whole Times Square thing. You're planning ahead, right? You're not even including Roach in anything. He could potentially beat Tank again. What if that happens? What's next for Roach, does he go ahead and replace Tank? And now he's in talks of fighting Gore. Like, what is in it for Lamont Roach? Because the same thing happened with Rolly. That was so stuck up on trying to make the Devin and Ryan fight. Rolly done came in and spoiled all of that. What's next for him now? Does he go ahead and fight Haney? Do he go and fight T.O.? Do he go ahead and fight Boots? Does he go ahead and fight Brian Jr.? Like, what's next for the guys? It seems like y'all just pay attention to making the big fights. The man have a tough opponent in front of him. And Lamont Roach Jr., if he spoils that, what's next then? That's why I'm so adamant about stop planning fights ahead, because you're overlooking fighters, and if Tank loses, that's going to mess everything up. Which brings me to a matchup that I am very, 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 very interested in. A matchup between my guy, Stephen Fulton, Stephen Cool Boy Steph, versus O'Shaquie Foster. He is looking to go up in weight to 130, and he's looking to become a 3-division world champ and trying to beat O'Shaquie Foster. That is a great matchup, and I believe that will be the co-main event of Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach 2. And the reason why is because it's been rumored, it's been talks that the fight between Stephen Fulton and O'Shaquie Foster has been made or is currently in the works, until Stephen Fulton had came out and he kind of dropped a signing emoji, I guess hinting at the contract has been signed. Matter of fact, yeah, he actually came out and he said that the contract has been signed actually. It kind of alludes to, the fight has been signed, and that's why I say that it could potentially be the co-main event, because they haven't officially said anything yet. And now that the Tank Davis fight has been announced for August 16th, would not be surprised that they will later announce that O'Shaquie Foster and Stephen Fulton is supposed to be on that card as well as the co-main event. And if you need any more proof that Stephen Fulton is looking to go up to 130 to fight somebody for their belt, he said it himself. He said it in the Art of War podcast. He said that he was looking to get himself another belt in a different weight class, and that weight class is 130. He even came out and said that he was looking to become champion at 126 and 130. He was looking to campaign at 126 and 130. So all signs just point to Stephen Fulton versus O'Shaquie Foster happening as the co-main event for Tank Davis and Lamont Roach 2. And what better card to have that fight on? That's a great fight leading up into another great fight. 2 great fights. And I can't wait for it. So you heard it here first. Stephen Fulton versus O'Shaquie Foster will be the co-main event on the Tank Davis and Lamont Roach 2 card. You heard it here first. And on that note, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy any of this content, make sure you hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and comment down below y'all thoughts and opinions about the Tank Davis and Lamont Roach fight now officially getting their rematch. And also, how do you guys see that fight going? And how do you guys see the Stephen Fulton versus O'Shaquie Foster fight going as well? To me, if you ask me, I have Roach beating Tank, and I have, of course, going with Stephen Fulton to beat O'Shaquie Foster. Of course, Stephen Fulton is that guy, man. I gotta go with Stephen Fulton, bro. I gotta go with my guy. And if you are new, make sure you hit that red button that says subscribe and click that bell, and make sure that bell is turned on to all so you don't miss out on any future uploads like this one. As always, it's your boy Remy, and I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.